welcome to a new episode of Underdark Cellars, but I'll let Caduceus introduce this one.
Hello, mushrooms. The earth will remember you.
Today we're making Caduceus's ethically sourced mushroom toasts, as well as an Underdark Cellars special. Let's go ahead and begin. So to begin, we're going to get our mise en place situated. This basically helps make sure that everything is gathered and ready to go so you're not remembering things too late. So first things first, we're going to chop some rosemary. I would like to apologize for my voice. It's a little tired. I'm not feeling 100%, so I will not be talking as much this episode. Next, we're going to go ahead and prepare our thyme. I used a little bit over 5 sprigs of thyme just because I felt that some of them were a little more sparsely leafed. So we're going to go ahead and separate that and then chop that nice and fine. One of the things I like about cooking rather than baking is it's far more improvisational. Baking is reliant entirely on ratios, it's chemistry and action, where cooking you can change things really according to your taste, so I added a little more time. So we're going to tackle our garlic. I'm going to peel and then mince 5 cloves of garlic. All you need to do to peel garlic is smash the garlic with a knife, with the palm of your hand. Either way, it's fine, and then it'll get the peel off. If it's stubborn, you can twist the garlic like 90 degrees in either direction, and that'll help get the garlic out of its shell, but it's very easy and straightforward. You don't need any special tools for it. I do like to use salt when I'm working with garlic. It serves 2 purposes. One, it draws extra water out of the garlic so you can more finely mince your garlic and get more flavor out of it, and 2, it helps it prevent sticking to your knife. I see that it's right here on my knife, but when you're working with it in a big pile, it's much easier to come off. If you don't use this, the garlic will be more difficult to get off the knife. Alright, so we're going to prepare the apple for the Underdark Cellars special, and to do that we're going to slice this in half, and then we're just going to cut 2 notches on each half of the apple to get rid of that little leaf part. I don't know what that's called. And then what I do with working with one apple, I like to preserve as much pulp as possible, so I'm going to cut a rhombus around the core, or where the seeds are, and then I'm just going to pop that out with my knife. Please be very careful doing this. It would be very easy for your knife to go through the apple into your hand. Please be safe when working with knives. Use the bear claw method. Curl your fingers in. Just feel like I shouldn't have to say that, but here we are. Anyway, so slice the apple nice and fine and set that aside. We're going to take our washed mushrooms. Also, please wash your mushrooms. They are grown in the dirt, and set those aside to dry. In a medium-high pan, we're going to melt some butter, and we're going to start crisping up our toasts. I used marbled rye, even though the recipe called for like a sourdough or like a country bread. I personally thought rye would taste just a little better. I try to do these as, authentic to the recipe as possible, but I don't know, I've just been on a rye kick lately, so that's what we're going to use, and make sure it's nice and golden on both sides. Once those are out, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to add our nice dried mushrooms. Please do not add wet mushrooms or any water to a hot fat. It will spatter and it will be dangerous. Please make sure your mushrooms are dry before you add them to the butter. Again, I feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but I'm going to. Cooking safety is extremely important. Anyway, so we're going to cook these mushrooms down until they're releasing a lot of their liquid and have shrunk in size, and then are starting to crisp up just a little bit and get a little golden. It's at this point that we're going to go ahead and add in the garlic that we prepped earlier, as well as our rosemary and our thyme. This is why we prep things earlier, so when we're working with ingredients that cook a little faster, they're just accessible and you can move forward. I also added the salt and fresh cracked black pepper. You'll know the mushrooms are ready to remove from the heat when there's a fond developing on the bottom. I apologize, my camera was not rolling, but these are just the apples I sliced earlier and 2 tablespoons of butter. To that we're going to add our nutmeg, ground ginger, allspice, and ground cinnamon. These are essentially the ingredients for apple pie spice, as well as ground cardamom. And it's just no added sugars, just the natural sweetness from the apples, and the butter comes together really nicely with the pie spice. You don't need added sugar for this. And we're going to saute those until they're nice and soft. And while those are cooking down and softening up, I'm going to mix some ricotta cheese with some vanilla bean paste. It's more flavorful and potent than just vanilla extract. So I'm just going to put like a 1/4 of a teaspoon in there. It's subtle, but it makes all the difference. Once these are soft, they are ready to remove from the heat. Now we're going to prep the Caduceus ethically sourced mushroom toast by first adding a layer of ricotta to the toast itself, probably about 1/4 of a cup. To that we're going to add a healthy heaping of mushrooms as well as some arugula. A little drizzle of olive oil and fresh cracked black pepper and some cracked sea salt as well, just a little bit. Moving on to Underdark Cellars toast, we're going to add our vanilla ricotta as well as a generous amount of our sauteed apples. To finish it off, we're going to top it with a little bit of a cinnamon-infused honey that I got from a local beekeeper. And they're done. Some final thoughts. I will absolutely be making this mushroom toast again. It was delicious. I don't have any comments on it. It was that good. Obviously, the Underdark Cellars toast I make all the time because it's seasonal, and it's so good with a cup of tea in the morning. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Underdark Cellars Cooking Through Exquisite Exandria. I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and follow for more. And have a nice day, adventurers. Goodbye.